I mean, fundamentally, how you start a company today and how you succeed today is very different than 30 years ago.
It's very different than 6 months ago.
Well, yeah, true.
It's
That's
that
the part
crazy.
that scares
So-
me.
so
For
we
real,
ended up-
like we've really just lived through the most disruptive 6 months. Nothing has ever more instantaneously impacted my business model, the way that I approach my employees, ever than the release of AI.
COVID.
Yeah. No.
I mean,
no, honestly, that did not impact my business nearly. It did like the day to day as you're
Yeah,
not seeing
yeah.
people, but the fundamental way that we ran our business.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do it.
No,
I mean,
do it
we're in a
joking.
world right now where every doctor in the world is freaked out if they see this, and every lawyer in the world is freaked out.
Yeah, I
Every
love-
teacher in the world is
I
freaked
love
out.
the fact that
Every artist.
that OpenAI ChatGPT passed the U.S. medical licensing exam 2 months after it was launched, right?
and the bar
That's
exam.
crazy.
Yeah.
It passed the Turing test. That was the one I didn't see coming, the signing of the, hey, let's slow down letter. And so I had Yoshua Bengio on the show. He's considered the godfather of AI. And I said, hey, your name was on that. What made you sign it? And he said, in no uncertain terms, I did not expect it to pass the Turing test as fast as it did. That set off every alarm bell that I have and like pumped the brakes.
This is the thing that we find most interesting because we've known Emad and all these guys for a while. They are blown away by the success of these models.
yeah.
Right? So that's really fascinating that
Yeah.
that the folks themselves are just blown away. They have
And
no
it's
idea.
still early days,
Yeah, this is-
ladies and gentlemen. It's still early days. You know, we're going to see so much more coming, and the recursive nature of self-improving capabilities. You know, I showed this work done where a group of physicians were shown these case studies to diagnose a patient, and it was like they took 55 minutes and got 60% right. And the AI took like 12 minutes and got 85% right.
Whoa.
And the physicians aren't going to change next year, but the AI will get much better and it'll
Bro.
be, you know, seconds and 100% right.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where this gets really interesting. So I know you have another company, Fountain Life.
Yeah.
You guys are using AI. Are you open to talking about this?
Yeah, sure.
So longevity, I couldn't be more obsessed with the idea. And so as you were talking about it, my first question is, how are you guys going to start getting the patterns down? Because to me, this is the big thing. You talk to somebody like Peter Attia and he's like, look, it is just next to impossible to do really good studies on diet and nutrition, what works, what doesn't work. There's just too many confounding variables. And I was like, AI is going to answer that. Like it can pull a pattern. Anything that can be reduced to a pattern, they can figure it out. Regardless of like amount of variables, if there is a pattern to be had, it will suss it out. And given that we have some people that live to 120 and some that don't, there is a pattern.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll put it this way. There's a lot of interesting things. Not only are there some people who live to 120 and some people who make it to just 65, there are large species on this planet, like the bowhead whale that lives to 200 years, or the Greenland shark that lives to 500 years. And my question is, if they can live that long, why can't we? And I said, it's either a hardware problem or a software problem. All right. And we're going to understand that. This decade is the decade we're going to understand that. It's going to be AI and quantum technologies that give us that insight. So Fountain Life is just fountainlife.com. We have these 10,000 square foot facilities. We have 4 of them right now. We have a waiting list of like 50 that we'll build out globally. And you come and we digitize you. It's a full body, 150 gigabyte upload of you. Full body MRI, brain vasculature, brain function, a coronary CT, all of this with AI overlay, 80 blood biomarkers, genomics, metabolomics, your gut. And then we do this year on year. This is not a one and done, right? So in the first time you do it, we're going to see, is there anything going on that you should worry about? Most of us are optimists about our health, and we don't actually know what's going on inside our body.
Yeah, fuck.
And by the way, the body's really amazing at hiding disease.
Yeah, I'm going to put myself
You
in
know,
that category.
it's like you think you're fine, but 70% of all heart attacks have no precedent.